Hello, welcome. My name's Bryant, and Marvel just introduced a villain more powerful enough to wound the one above all, rewriting 20 years of lore and shaking Marvel's cosmic order to its core. Meanwhile, the X-Men splinter again in Age of Revelations with the debut of a brand new team in DC's Gotham Sampler, just erased Red Hood and swapped him for Nightfall. We've also we also break down Justice League Gone Bad, we celebrate Superman's best moments, relive Spider-Man's worst mistakes, dive into rumors for Spider-Man 4, and wrap with today's hottest cover price shakers. This is Comic Issues Daily for September 26, 2025. And also, before we get started, just want to remind everybody about the GoFundMe to support Brandon, aka Mon Comics, and his family. A couple of Sundays ago, they had a house fire that took their home. We do have the GoFundMe up here on the screen, so please support that if you can. All right, but now let's get into it. Today's episode is brought to you by Ron's Comic Closet. Head to ronscomiccloset.com and use code IHaveIssues to get 20% off your first order with Ron. They got new releases, back issues, and all the things that you're looking for. All right, and first story of the day. Marvel has officially shaken the foundation of its cosmic mythology with the introduction of the Mother of Horrors. This new entity is said to have harmed the one above all, the godlike figure who for decades has represented the absolute peak of Marvel's hierarchy. For years, fans believed no being could touch the one above all, but this reveal suggests even divinity has limits. And that alone rewrites over 20 years of established canon. The implications are enormous. Marvel's cosmic framework has always leaned on a few constants: the living tribunal, eternity, affinity, and finally, the one above all. By positioning the Mother of Horrors as a threat beyond even those beings, Marvel is resetting the stakes for cosmic stories. It raises the question: if the most supreme being can be wounded, what happens to the structure of the Marvel multiverse? Fans' reactions are divided. The fan reaction is always divided. Some praise this as a bold evolution that keeps the lore fresh, while others worry it risks undermining characters that should remain untouchable. Either way, the Mother of Heroes instantly becomes one of Marvel's most talked about villains, and Hulk's current series appears to be at the heart of the conflict. Do you think the Mother of Horror is truly Marvel's most dangerous villain, or just hype? Drop your take below. And next, speaking of game changers, Marvel just revealed a brand new X-Men team in the Age of Apocalypse era. Expatriate X-Men, or comicbook.com gives us an exclusive look at Expatriate X-Men #1. Part of Marvel's Age of Revelations. The series introduces a splinter group of mutants who reject the ruling regime, carving out a dangerous existence on the fringe of mutant society. The roster includes Miss Marvel, Bronze, Melee, and Riff, each representing the spirit of rebellion that has always defined the X-Men at its best. This team stands as both outcasts and protectors, patrolling the Mississippi River boundaries between mutants and humans. It's a fresh spin on the outsider narrative that has long fueled X titles like X-Force and Excalibur. The Expatriates aren't polished superheroes. They're survivors and agitators, fighting for freedom in a fractured mutant world. Visually, the design blends familiar X iconography with bold updates that scream new era. With its release on October 29th, the book is clearly meant to be one of the tentpoles of the Age of Apocalypse. For collectors, team debuts like this often carry long-term significance, and for readers, it's a chance to start at the ground floor of Marvel's next big mutant chapter. Will you be picking up Expatriate X-Men #1 when it launches, or are you waiting to see how it lands with the fans? And over at DC, Red Hood just lost his spot in the Gotham Sampler, and a brand new title is stepping in. BleedingCool reports that DC is issuing a second print of the Batman Day Gotham Sampler, but this version comes with a twist. The Red Hood #1 preview has been pulled entirely. In its place, readers will find a preview of Batman Nightfall, a title that's now being positioned as Gotham's next big launch. This is an unusual move. Free sampler books are almost never altered once they're printed, yet DC's quick decision shows how fast editorial priorities can change. The cancellation of Red Hood series early this month clearly forced a pivot, and DC wasted no time in replacing it with a new Spotlight book. Collectors are already eyeing the original sampler as a curiosity, a promo for a series that no longer exists. Meanwhile, fans will have to wait until October 22nd to see what Nightfall brings to Gotham. Either way, the message is clear. Red Hood is out of DC's current plans, and Nightfall is stepping into the light. Would you keep the first Gotham Sampler as a collectible oddity, or are you more excited to see what Nightfall offers? And speaking of DC icons, let's look at the 10 Justice Leaguers who shocked fans by turning into villains. But before we do that, let's check the chat for a second. Hey, Christina, how are you? Good morning. And now, comicbook.com's David Harth compiled a list of Justice League members who have gone bad, and it's sobering. It's a sobering reminder of how often DC pushes its heroes to the brink. The rank starts with Hal Jordan's infamous transformation into Parallax during the Emerald Twilight, Superman's tyrannical rule in the Injustice universe, and Wonder Woman's militaristic turn in Flashpoint also ranks near the top, showcasing just how fragile the line between hero and villain can be. The list also explores Batman's dark alternate as the Dawnbreaker in Dark Knight Metals, Martian Manhunter's terrifying Furnace persona, and Aquaman's role as a global threat in Flashpoint. Each of these arcs pulled characters fans trusted and forced them into antagonistic roles, raising the stakes for their respective stories. Rounding out the top 10 are Cyborg's authoritarian futures and Green Arrow's embitterment role in the Dark Knight Returns universe, and Shazam's tragic manipulation in Kingdom Come. These villain turns not only shocked readers, but also left lasting imprints on how we perceive DC icons. Which Justice League Leaguers turned villain hits you the hardest? Parallax, Injustice, Superman, or someone else? Share your ranks below. And while some heroes fall, others rise. Here are the 10 best moments in Superman's comic history. And in another list by David Harth, comicbook.com celebrated the 10 best Superman moments in comics. It begins fittingly with his first appearance in Action Comics #1 from 1938, the comic that started the superhero genre itself. From there, it moves to definitive stories like All-Star Superman, which remain a touchstone of how to capture the essence of the character. The list also highlights major personal milestones, such as Superman's marriage to Lois Lane and the introduction of his son, John Kent. Stories like Whatever Happened to the Man of Steel and Mark Waid's Birthright modernized or closed out entire eras of Superman lore. Even his death in 1992 remains a cornerstone of his mythos. What makes these moments stand out is how they balance mythic spectacle with human heart. Whether he's lifting the books of infinite pages or standing against hate and Superman smashes the Klan, Superman continues to embody the best of us. These highlights serve as both a celebration and a reading guide for fans old and new. What's your all-time favorite Superman story? Drop your essential picks in the comments. And yep, Christina has listed or linked in the chat the link to the GoFundMe for Brandon, so check that out if you get a chance. But not every hero's history is uplifting. Spider-Man's past has some of Marvel's darkest decisions. David Harth also compiled the 10 worst things to ever happen in Spider-Man comics, and the list is brutal. At the top is Gwen Stacy's death in Amazing Spider-Man 121, a story that defines Peter's tragic history. The Clone Saga, the 1990s, also ranks high for dragging out confusing twists that left fans frustrated. While One More Day remains one of Marvel's most controversial editorial resets, other entries include Peter's disastrous unmasking during Civil War, the repeated deaths and resurrection of Aunt May, and Kraven's shocking triumph in Kraven's Last Hunt. While that story is now seems as classic, at the time it was a dark turn few expected. The bottom of the list reminds us of more recent missteps, such as Superior Spider-Man's body swap, the fatigue caused by constant Spider-Verse spinoffs, and Harry Osborn's heartbreaking death. Taken together, these stories emphasize how Spider-Man's greatest victories almost always come at personal cost. If you could erase one Spider-Man storyline forever, would it be One More Day, the Clone Saga, or something else? I'm pretty sure most of the Spider-Man fans out there would erase the whole editorial storyline where they erase Peter and MJ's marriage. That's just my personal thoughts. Let me know what you think about that. And speaking of heartbreak, and the latest Spider-Man 4 rumor suggests Tom Holland's Peter Parker may be heading for tragedy. Comicbook.com's Chris Agar reports that new rumors for Spider-Man 4 hints at a darker story for Tom Holland's Peter Parker. The word is that the film will lean into heartbreak, possibly taking away someone Peter loves and forcing him into a new chapter defined by sacrifice. This would mark a major tonal shift from the previous trilogy. Gone are the high school days and lighter tones. Spider-Man 4 may give us a more adult Peter, one closer to the comic book version who'd been scarred by loss. The move would echo landmark tragedies like Gwen Stacy's death and reaffirm the central theme of Spider-Man's mythos. With great power comes great responsibility. While none of this is confirmed, it matches the setup left by No Way Home, where Peter chose to erase his personal life for the greater good. If Marvel and Sony lean into this, Spider-Man 4 could become Holland's definitive role in the character, or defining film in the role. Do you want Spider-Man 4 to go darker, or should it keep the lighter tone of the earlier movies? Let me know below. And meanwhile, DC buzz is still circling Superman in the Justice League in today's Lying in the Gutter column from BleedingCool. BleedingCool's Lying in the Gutter column from September 26, spotlighting Superman and Justice League as the hottest discussed topics. While Lying in the Gutter isn't hard reporting, it's a daily snapshot of the industry conversation, blending gossip and speculation and hints at what's coming. The Superman focus fits perfectly with his ongoing resurgence across publishing and upcoming film projects. Pairing him with the Justice League reflects DC's renewed attention on his flagship heroes and team dynamics. Fans know it takes to take Lying in the Gutter with a grain of salt, but the column often foreshadows official announcements. For readers plugged into the comic chatter, it's a quick way to sense where the industry is heading. Do you treat the LITG as fun gossip, or do you think it sometimes nails what's coming? Tell me in the comments. And now, let's close with today's hottest movers in the market, the CovrPrice Daily Shakers report. Today's CovrPrice Shakers show just how wide the collector market is right now. Leading the pack was Heavy Metal Magazine Volume 5, Number 6 from 1981 in a newsstand, selling for $3,480 in a CGC 9.6. That wasn't the only magazine to hit the list. Heavy Metal Volume 2, issue number 1 from 1978, also charted in at $1,680 in a CGC 9.8, proving that high-grade magazines are gaining serious traction. Golden and Silver Age keys remain powerhouses. Vampirella number 1 from 1969 by Frank Frazetta brought in $3,360 in a CGC 8.5, while Marvel Villains debuts stayed hot with Fantastic Four number 5 from 1962, the first appearance of Dr. Doom. Can't imagine why that's hot right now. pulling in nearly $2,900 in a Raw. Fantastic Four number 49 from 1966, the first full Silver Surfer and second appearance of Galactus at a $2,136 in a CGC 8.5. And Amazing Spider-Man number 3 from 1963, first appearance of Dr. Octopus, came in at $1,999 in a CGC 3.0. The list rounds out with Marvel Comics Super Special number 1 from 1977, was sold for $2,760 in a CGC 9.8, while Marvel Previews number 2 from 1975, very good year, came in at $2,520 in a CGC 9.8. And Captain America Comics number 48 from 1945 sold for $2,299 in a CGC 5.0. And here's a modern wild card to throw in there. V Friends number 1, which is a creation. V Friends is from Gary Vaynerchuk, internet entrepreneur and media personality. Very cool. Go follow him if you look for inspiration, things like that. Great businessman. From 2024, a J. Scott Campbell gift goat bundle was selling for $1,750 in a Raw. And from Golden Age to NFT era tie-ins, the spread shows collectors are diversifying in big ways. If you had $3,000 to spend, would you chase a classic Silver Age key, a high-grade magazine, or gamble on modern rarities like V Friends? Let me know your pick. I would probably go for the blue chip stuff myself, but that's just me personally. Don't forget that Comic Channel Origins, which is my interview show that I do with comic book YouTube creators, is going live every Sunday at 6 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Eastern, and we bring on fellow comic creators to talk, YouTube creators to talk about their journeys, their wins, and what they do differently. Set your reminder and join us this Sunday, where I will be interviewing Brian LCS, the creator of the Comic Book Community Awards, and all the other stuff that he loves about YouTube. All right, and thanks again for watching. Thanks again to Ron's Comic Closet, who is our channel sponsor. And if you use code I Have Issues at checkout, you'll save 20% off your first purchase with Ron. Just let me know which of the stories was the biggest for you today: the Mother of Horror rewrite, the Expatriate X-Men reveal, or DC's Gotham shakeup. Drop your take below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell so you never miss your daily comic news. I'm Bryant, and this has been Comic Issues Daily, and see you in the next one. All right, see you later, everybody.